Hi, this is Gypsy Spirit, and I'm here to talk to you about relationships, something that I am very much in tune with and specialize in. I work primarily with women, but I work with men too. And today we're going to be talking about setting boundaries, okay? I get a lot of women who they'll either come to me or they'll call me on the phone. They found out that their boyfriend or husband was cheating on them, but they love them so much, and they want to they want to keep the relationship going. Blah blah blah. Well, I actually had somebody cheat on me one time, and it didn't go over very well. Not for him anyway. But let me just say something. There's three components to every relationship: it's self love, self respect, and integrity. And we set the boundaries. We are the ones, no matter what kind of relationship you're in, whether it be friendship, family relationships, romantic relationships, whatever. You set your boundaries as to what you will put up with and what you will not put up with. And when people, I mean, we have energy, and people know that kind of, they feel it. They know that when you have stepped into your power, they're not going to try to pull any bullshit on you. And actually, when you start to step into your power, that that actually is like a guard to keep the ones that want to take advantage of you, the energy vampires. It's a guard to keep them away, because they know they can't get past that gate that you've created. Um, but for a relationship to work out and to be really, a fantastic relationship, and don't get me wrong, relationships, they're work. It's all about work. But in order for it to be a strong and healthy, long-lasting relationship, those three components have the self-love, self-respect, and integrity have to come from both parties. And if any of those components are missing from either party, then the relationship is going to have a lot of problems. Okay. Um, if a man or a woman, but like I said, I primarily work with women, but if your partner is cheating, then they're not showing themselves any self respect. Not only are they not giving them self respect or integrity, but they're not giving it to the relationship or to you, and they're not giving it to the person that they're running around with. Now, I'm amazed. I get a lot, mostly men, but I get women too, that are wanting to have or in relationships with people that are already married. Now, honestly, tell me, where the hell is that going to go? Okay? Because let's just say that you're with this guy, he's married, and let's just say he gets divorced, okay? And he marries you. Do you think he's going to be faithful to you? I don't think so. Honey, if they've done it once, they will do it again. I promise you, they will do it again. They will have an affair with somebody else while they're married to you, because it's not about you, it's about them, and they haven't come into their true self and have learned to have self-love and self-respect and integrity for themselves. Now, if you're in a relationship, a real man or woman, uh, if they decided that they no longer wanted to be in that relationship and wanted to be with somebody else, they would do the right thing and come to you and break the relationship off so that they can move on and you can move on too. So it really frustrates me when I talk with these people, and they want to stay in the relationship because they just love this person so much, and they just know they can change the person, that they're going to make them so happy. Honey, don't make that mistake. I did it. I listen, I wouldn't be able to talk to you about these things if I hadn't been through it myself. Um, I was so in love with this loser guy who was an alcoholic. I thought I was in love anyway. But when I found out that he was, running around, I mean, there were red flags in the very beginning, and I didn't pay attention to it. And then, 2 years into the relationship, and I find out that he's running around, I try to convince myself that, well, it's just a phase and he needs to go through this and we're going to work through it and everything's going to be fine. Well, guess what? No, everything was not fine. And he, it's a long story. But anyway, I'm just telling you, if you think for some reason the person that is cheating on you, that you can change them or they're going to straighten up, they're going to come back to you and they're going to straighten up and things are going to be good, you are living at Disney World, Disneyland, because that is not what's going to happen. First of all, that person needs to do some work. They need to do the inner work. And if you're with somebody that's like that and you're willing to stay on with the relationship, then you need to do some work on yourself too, because there is, like the mirror image, we attract who we are to each other. So yeah, I mean, when I started dating this guy, I had a lot of issues that I needed to work through. Not necessarily on cheating, but there was a lot of insecurities and fears that I had within myself that I needed to clear out so that I could be honest and true to myself. When you start stepping into your power and stop making compromises in a relationship that you're no longer comfortable with, that's telling you that you are showing yourself self-love, self-respect, and integrity. And you are stepping into your power and in your own truth. And it's the one that when they see that you do that, they really start running the other way, because guess what? They no longer have any power over you. What are they going to do now? So they go find somebody else that they can have power over. When you make a compromise with somebody, I had a lady one time, had a girl call me, and she was seeing this guy who was married, and the guy kept telling her that he needed a little time, because he and his wife had a child, but this girl, she said, this is not something that she normally does, and she didn't feel good about it. She felt cheap and used, but she loved this guy, blah blah blah. And I told her, I said, as long as you continue on in this relationship, you are giving your power over to that man, and he knows it, and he's going to continue to use it. But the moment you stop the relationship and tell him to get his shit together, and when he's gotten what he needs to do from the relationship that he's in, the marriage, then if he wants to talk to her, then by all means, give her a call. But as long as you're making those compromises that you're not comfortable with, then you're giving your power over to the other person. I'll tell you a story, and I do have a crazy family, but I have an aunt who's been married. She's been married, I guess, for over 50 years to the same man. And this was many years ago. We lived in I come from a very large family, and for a long time, many of us lived in California. And she was always trying to do things to make her husband happy, even though they fought like cats and dogs. And somehow he convinced her to, and this is when they were much younger. They were like in their, I don't know, probably 40s. But he had convinced her to go to one of those a swinging bar in Hollywood, California, where, people switch partners and stuff like that. And I guess that was a thing back then. It probably still is. I don't know. But anyway, she didn't want to do it. but she wanted to make him happy. So they go. She's telling me they go to this place in Hollywood and they're dancing, and all of a sudden he's touching another woman in her crotch. And my aunt told me that she just stopped and crossed her arms and just looked at him and said, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And he said, "Oh, I was just feeling that woman's pussy." And I mean, it was then that she realized, like, what was she doing? She was making a compromise with something that she was so against, and didn't feel comfortable at all. And what did that do to her? I mean, it made her feel so insecure, and it affected her self-esteem. Um, Incidentally, they're still married, but they don't live under the same roof, for for very good reasons. But anyway, that's another story. But if you get the point, you got to stay true to yourself, and so many women, um, and it's happened to me so many times. We get into a relationship and we see red flags and we ignore them. We ignore them because we want to be validated. We want to be loved. And we think that we can make it with this person. And I read something on Facebook a while back ago. And it said, if you see red flags in somebody, if you don't run, there will be a price that you will pay much later. That's so true. That's so true. The alcoholic that I told you that I was involved in, before I even went out with him, there was a red flag. I mean, my God. And then I tried to convince myself that no, that wasn't him. We were at a music festival and somebody had said shouted something extremely vulgar. I mean, it just like made me want to throw up. That's how bad it was. And I mean, I have a potty mouth. I say words that people probably have never heard of. So if it affected me that way, that it's pretty bad. And I convinced myself that it was not him that said that it was somebody else. And after we were dating for about a month, I guess, I asked him about it. And he admitted that it was him that said it. And I stayed with him. And then I had more red flags and more. I mean, the red flags were slapping me in my face, and I was turning away from them to the point where they stopped hitting me in my face because I was ignoring them. And I guess universe was like, well, you know what? We've tried to help you here, but you're not listening, so go for it. And yes, there was a massive price that I paid for later. Also with my marriage as well. I was married for 13 years. Lots of red flags before I got married. And in the end, there was a huge price that I paid for it. So listen to those flags, those red flags. Listen to them. Stop making compromises that you are not willing to make or want to make. Stand in your own power, in your own truth. That is your way of setting boundaries, and you will start drawing a different kind of people towards you. You will draw people who are on the same level, that they have boundaries too, and they have self-respect, self-love, and integrity. And then you'll meet the person that you can have a long-lasting relationship with. So thank you for tuning in. I will be doing some tarot love readings. So very soon here will be on my YouTube and also my Facebook channel. If you want your own personal reading, you can get that by going to my website at www.gypsyspiritcharleston.com. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.